So Donald Trump and his administration are absolutely sending the USA off a financial cliff. And this is the headline today. Besant says US talking with Argentina about 20 billion in aid. So now we have a number. We were talking about this Argentina bailout thing before. It's 20 billion is what we're talking about. And Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, keeps tweeting out stuff about said things. So I think they're serious about it, and it looks like they're going to try to move quickly on these things. I guess that the plan is give that 20 billion to Argentina before anyone notices, right? Because it's only 20 billion. They're making a joke. This is a time when Americans are struggling. Trump wants to cut all your services, cut your health care. Even his own constituents, farmers, are going bankrupt. He's got tariffs on everything that's basically raise the costs for all your goods. I mean, inflation's going through the roof, employment's going up, the misery index is going up, right? That's when you add those things together. And now we're talking about 20 billion to Argentina. 20 billion in aid. And there's another story which you have to understand that this is all connected. US debt investors raise alarms over lending standards. So basically, we're giving loans to people with bad or low credit or no credit history or not even having social security numbers. And this is also tied to Trump's ICE stuff and immigration. Because I think what it is when you see these headlines, it's exposing, I guess you could call it a shadow economy, right? A lot of things that are not necessarily on the books per se, but they do show up in other ways. And it shows up in this particular situation. It was called Tricolor. It's like this auto company, and they had a bunch of auto loans, etc. Again, to people who maybe didn't have credit histories or not even social security numbers. And you connect the dots. Trump has this major ICE crackdown, so people are scared. They don't go to work. Etc. They can't pay back their auto loans. These auto loans by the Tricolor company, I guess they would bundle these things up and then sell them off as bonds, basically selling debt. And then if you know the Great Financial Crisis, it's the same kind of thing. And I was unaware of this stuff the same way. Like I'm not in this Tricolor world, but it makes sense to where, like, if someone, as they described, they interviewed a couple people from Financial Times, to where, like, I need a Ford, it would have to be a Ford in particular, but I need a truck to get to my work, right? And in order to get truck to get to work, I take out said loan. I don't have credit history or social security number, so then I go get loan, and it's kind of a shady place. They may sell me a crappy truck that breaks down or whatever. And you guys kind of know these things, how these games is played. They could do predatory practices, lending practices on me, charge me high interest rates or whatever. But then suddenly I can't get to my work because of the Trump situation. Either I'm afraid or I'm arrested or any number of things. It ruptures the whole community. And then people don't pay back, said loan. These loans are packaged. I think JP Morgan might be involved in this stuff. There's another bank, 5/3 Bank, are involved with these things. They pretend that they're great credit ratings, right? Again, because they take all these bad loans, package them together, sell them off to bigger investors, and we find out, wow, we're all connected. It's just like the financial crisis. Now, I don't know how big this auto loan thing is going to connect to other facets of the economy, in this, or other loans, I should say, because I know we're all connected in terms of, just think of it this way. Many constructions in USA it uses undocumented workers. It's just the reality of it, right? It is all over the country. It's not just like one or two spots. And again, it's this whole shadow economy, and these people pay rents, they go to restaurants, they patronage, many places. It's part of the economy. They pay taxes, and then suddenly you attack this certain part of the economy. I mean, there's two things. You have the taxing economy that Trump's doing, and then you got this like insane bailout of Argentina. And I'm trying to put this stuff together with you guys. Like the numbers don't add up with Trump, and then they keep promoting your AI and cryptos. No, seriously, it's crazy. This is Milei here. I'm gonna go back to the Argentina thing. I saw this yesterday, and it's like, why are we posing with the tweet? It's so weird, right? There's a tweet there. He printed it out. If you don't know who the Milei guy is, he's the president of Argentina. He's facing political pressure down there. It's looking like Trump wants to bail out Argentina and Milei to keep, I guess, his buddy in power. And also Trump is trying to start a war with Venezuela. He keeps destroying boats down there, and basically, disappearing any, well, they're blowing them up, so the witnesses are gone, and any sort of evidence is gone. We don't really know much what's going on down there. And then you have this like shady $20 billion thing to Argentina. I mean, is the stuff, the math doesn't work, other than I guess Trump's trying to figure out a way to where he needs to retire. I'm getting really upset and I'm frustrated about this stuff because it's happening in broad daylight. And when I see a lot of outlets out there that aren't talking about this, it just makes me frustrated because it's like a lot of stuff is all distraction, right? So everyone's been talking about Kimmel this, Kimmel that, right? That's what people are talking about, and then that's all headlines. And then they kind of sneak in this other thing. Oh, but by the way, we're giving 20 billion to Argentina, who has a history of tons of bailouts and not paying people back. And then you have this today, which is it's just chaos. That's a better way to describe it. The shooting at the Dallas ICE facility. I just went over that this morning. This is Scott Bessent's tweet. If you want to read through this whole thing today, I'll just read a little bit. It says, Bessent, yesterday POTUS, right, President Trump, and I spoke extensively with President Milei and his senior team in New York. As President Trump has stated, we stand ready to do what is needed to support Argentina and the Argentine people. And again, we're talking about $20 billion here. And then Trump will tweet out, you know, he loves Javier Milei, but he hates Biden, blah, 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 blah. And it's just, these guys, so crazy. I don't know what to say. I guess I need to yell, and scream to get people's attention on this one. 20 billion to Argentina. Let me read it. Just listen. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the U.S. is in talks to provide Argentina with a 20 billion swap line to help contain financial upheaval and support for President Javier Milei's free market overhaul. So Javier's plan was cut any sort of government support or safety nets for people and fire as many people as possible. That was the same plan as Trump, and now they need a bailout. Great, and that's the plan we're trying to copy. In my opinion, don't copy the person who needs a bailout. It's not a recipe for success. It's like, oh, I see that you're sinking just like Titanic. Hey, I want a piece of that. That's literally what Elon Musk and Trumpers were talking about with this guy, that they really admired Argentina. Here's more. The Trump administration is also willing to provide Argentina with credit via the Treasury's Exchange Stabilization Fund and to buy Argentina's dollar bonds. Great. Establishing a swap line with Argentina or lending to it would effectively mean supplying dollars that country could use to buy peso, therefore strengthening the currency. And then when you read more, and here's the key part, Argentina has a long history of difficulties, okay? So basically, Argentina is like that, I guess that crazy friend who never pays anyone back, and now he's asking you for help, right? And that crazy friend also has mafia connections, and if you're Trump, you're got your own mafia, and you're like, well, what if we connect the two mafias together? Wow, great. And the cops are closing on you, Trump, or you can say Milei, and I guess they're trying to join forces or something stupid. But this is what it says. Argentina has a long history of difficulties. It has been the International Monetary Fund's biggest client. Wow, great. And I guess USA is gonna make a partnership here. 20 billion. Receiving 23 bailouts since the 1950s. That's Argentina. 23 bailouts since the 1950s. Today, Argentina is the IMF's largest debtor by far. In April, it signed its latest financing package worth 20 billion, and then throw in USA, I guess, for another 20. That is on top of another bailout worth 40 billion. I mean, it just keeps going on. Argentina received from the IMF stemming from the 2018 financial crisis. I just don't see this ending well. I just don't see this ending well. This is who I guess we're giving money to, and they're gonna come with some sort of weird financial thing to get this thing to work. 20 billion is the talk, and then that's why I had to mention the Tricolor, and it's actually not just Tricolor. There's two companies that are bankrupt now. Auto lenders bust signals strain in financial health of U.S. households. And I'm telling you guys, it's all connected, because I see this stuff in the financial news. Often it's a divide. You're destroying the middle class. The consumer spending, which is much of the U.S. economy, is more and more being made up by people at the very top. Okay, so I'm trying to make this really clear. The economy is made up of consumers. Like 70% is consumer spending in USA. Okay, a larger proportion that's propping up the economy is just coming from the top. They're the ones spending. People at the top are the ones spending. People at the bottom are just like totally going underwater. Okay, so our economy at the moment is like basically half the people are going underwater, and then the other half are pretending like nothing bad is happening. But like it's all connected. Like how can you maintain this system if the Trumpers and the Musk want to sell you, just for example, Teslas? Okay, if Musk wants to sell us a bunch of Tesla and Tesla robots, who's going to have money to buy said things? Now, theoretically, only Musk's billionaire buddies can buy said robots, and then goal of this, for example, goal of said robots is then to replace all the workers. So, I mean, they're making a world that is only sustainable for just a few people, and that's not even sustainable. The whole thing's going to crash like a house of cards. And then when you see it in the numbers with, say, the tricolor, situation, I think the other one's called First Brand. They're both going bankrupt. I can get the names of these things. Tricolor, yeah, it's Tricolor. I think it's called First Brand. I see here, and then they're talking about subprime auto loans and defaults going at 9.3%. It is, yeah, First Brands. I got it right here. It is a major problem, and you put this together with the Trump, disappearing a lot of people with his mass goons. So it creates a lot of chaos, uncertainty, and we'll just say this infighting among people in the USA. And then while Trump basically divides everyone, gets everyone fighting as much as possible, then there's talking about, hey, let's give 20 billion to Argentina, and they try to kind of bury that. And then in the financial markets, you start to see like, wait, why are all these things going bankrupt now? Why aren't people paying people back, right? But it's kind of obvious. You see it coming, and if many people's so we'll just say this, like the whole books and economy and like sort of financial system, everything in place was based on a prior system that Trump is just completely destroying, then suddenly everyone's just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so they're just sort of freezing up, right? You see less transactions all over the place. Like I keep seeing that where people are just like just waiting to try to wait this Trumpy stuff out. But how much damage is Trump going to do in the next 3.5 years? Like, God, we're not even past the first year. Um, and I just shake my head. I just think, like I said, I think this Argentina thing is an absolute disaster, and then put that together with all the bad loans. So that's my thoughts on this. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.